So, Google has just released Nano Banano Pro, and the AI image generation game has completely changed. And trust me here, this hype for this model is completely justified. Today, we're going to be playing around with the new model, exploring all of its new capabilities, and seeing exactly how much better it is than the previous Nano Banana model. So let's get into it, and before we talk about any of the visual features, we need to discuss what makes Pro fundamentally different, and that is its ability for reasoning and research. This isn't just a pretty picture generator anymore. Pro actually thinks before it creates. Let me show you what I mean here. So first, access model, I'm gonna go to aistudio.google.com, make sure I'm signed in, go to Playground and connect my Google API key. I'm gonna make sure that we've got Nano Banana Pro selected, and I'm gonna ask it to create an infographic explaining how fractional distillation works. Watch this. Before it generates anything, Nano Banana Pro is thinking. Look at the screen. You can actually see the reasoning process happening in real time. This is the model literally planning out the image before it creates it. It's not just throwing pixels together, it's understanding the science, structuring the information logically, and making deliberate design choices. And look at the result. It isn't just a random diagram, this is accurate. The temperatures are correct, the separation stages are in the right order, and all of the components are labeled properly. It even gives us all of the sources that it used. Now, the original model will give you something that looks good, but is potentially wrong. Nano Banana Pro gives you something you can actually use in a classroom or in a presentation without having to fact check every single little detail. And this reasoning capability is baked into everything that Pro does. It's not just making images, it's understanding context, it's planning the composition, and then it's creating visuals that are both beautiful and accurate. Now, let's have a little bit of a closer look at this infographic that we just generated, because this leads perfectly into the next game-changing feature, the text rendering. Every single label here is perfect. The names of each step, the temperature readings, the labels, all perfect. Not a single melting letter or a blurry word. Do you remember how the original Nano Banana would absolutely panic when you asked it to generate text? And a lot of the time, it just wouldn't be able to do it super well. You'd get gibberish, warped letters, text that looked like it was melting. Well, those days are over. And this infographic here shows it perfectly. Pro handles text with unbelievable accuracy. Look at this coffee packaging mock-up. Every single label is crisp, readable, correct. And here's the kicker, it's even multilingual. Need this in Japanese instead of English? Well, there you go. Pro translates it seamlessly, renders it beautifully, and you've got whatever you want, multilingual. With changes like this model is production ready for ad creatives, for marketing, for YouTube thumbnails, the list goes on. And this is a massive step forward. This isn't just a toy anymore, this is a tool actual designers can use in their workflows. Okay, so moving on, next we're going to talk about resolution. Nano Banana Pro goes native 2K and scales up to 4K. And the difference is stunning. We're getting DSLR-like sharpness here. And with Nano Banana Pro, all of these details just pop and it just looks great, right? This is print ready, screen ready, billboard ready. The original Nano Banana would give you something passable for social media, but Pro gives you something you could frame and put on the wall, literally. For anyone doing commercial work, product photography, or high-end mock-ups, this resolution jump alone justifies the upgrade. Now, if you've ever tried to create a series with AI, maybe thumbnails or storyboards or campaign variations, you know the pain of inconsistency. You generate a character once and it looks perfect, but on the second generation, it's either a completely different face or it's just weird in some way. Nano Banana Pro fixes this and has fantastic character consistency. Multiple characters stable across different generations. No more shifting faces, no random artifacts that ruin your workflow. Look at this sequence here. Same subject, different scenes, completely consistent. For content creators or marketers, this is a real step forward. If you're building a brand, creating a mascot, developing characters for a project, Pro actually remembers who they are. And this is a perfect example of how AI is actually changing how we're working. You can now plan a series, build campaigns, create narrative sequences without the AI giving everyone a new face or it looking weird all the time. Now, before we continue, if you are serious about AI and you want to get up to speed and stay up to speed with AI, then my Applied AI Mastermind is the place that you need to be. Inside, we have a load of in-depth courses from the basics of AI to building AI agents with N8N to how to apply AI profitably to a business and loads more. There's over 2,000 AI automation templates ready to use within seconds. There's a constantly updated list of the best AI tools and countless resources like this one showing you how to supercharge your Nano Banana Pro prompts. Plus, I post daily AI news in there, so you are never going to be left behind. And right now, it is the cheapest it will ever be. So go ahead and check it out. I will leave a link in the description down below. Anyway, back to it. Next, let's talk about editing controls, because this is where Pro actually starts to feel like professional software. Watch this. Same scene, different times of day. Day to night, absolutely seamless. The lighting shifts, shadows adjust, the mood changes, but the composition stays locked. Change the camera angle? Done. Adjust the depth of field? Easy. Swap aspect ratios without breaking your scene? Not a problem. Users are comparing this to like light VFX tools. You can now prompt it to say, move the subject to the center, and it just works. Era consistent scenes, like 1950s to the modern day, work perfectly without breaking the visual logic within a scene. The original Nano Banana model would really struggle with these sorts of edits, but Pro handles these complex modifications completely intuitively. And for anyone doing client works where revisions are constant, this is a massive time saver. Now, some subtler wins that Nano Banana Pro has are in the lighting, the reflections, and the spatial reasoning. Look how light behaves here. The reflection on glass, shadows falling naturally, depth that feels photorealistic. Users are describing outputs as kind of like raw DSLR quality. Also, the geometry and the architecture is locked in too. No more wonky proportions or floating objects or spatial impossibilities that scream AI generated. And these details add up to an image that just feels real. And this is the difference between cool AI art, which is what we had before, and what we have now, which is kind of like, whoa, wait, that's not a photograph? Okay, but real talk, there is a catch, and this is kind of a big one for a lot of people. Nano Banana Pro requires API access, and it's not free. In fact, it's about 10 times more expensive as the original Nano Banana model. Now, depending upon your usage, the costs really can add up fast, especially if you're using the 4K resolution a lot. For hobbyists or casual users, this might be a little bit of a barrier. But for professionals or for agencies or for content studios, if this replaces a designer's time or stock photography subscriptions, then the ROI is there and it really is worth it. The original Nano Banana model is still available for lighter use, and I think a combination of the two is actually a good way to approach this. But if you need production quality outputs with reasoning, text rendering, consistency, pro level control, Pro is really where you need to be. So the bottom line, is Nano Banana Pro worth all the hype and the cost? Yes, I think so. It's not perfect, but it's just one of the examples that we've had recently of AI being scarily impressive. Anyway, that's it from me. Go and check it out for yourself. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.